Hello everyone. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about a new topic, and the topic name is counters. Okay, so and we know that counters are the one of the applications of flip-flops. So basically counters are nothing but sequential circuits. These are sequential circuits, and it can be defined as a counter is nothing but which is a digital circuit and which is used for a counting pulses. Generally we defined as counter is a digital circuit which is used for the counting pulses. That is a definition, general definition for counters. Okay, so there is one more definition. So a digital counter is a set of flip-flops whose states changes in response to pulses applied at the input. So this is also one more definition for counter. Okay, so basically a counter is nothing but sequential circuit. And while coming to the definition for counters, okay, a counter is nothing but a digital circuit and which is used for the counting pulses. So there is one more definition. A digital counter is a set of flip-flops whose states changes in response to the pulses applied at the input. That means what? So here a set of flip-flops whose states changes in response to the pulses. That means a counter is having a set of flip-flops which are interconnected in such a way their combined states at any time produces the binary equivalent of output of the total number of pulses which are occurred up to the time. Once again I repeat. So the flip-flops which are interconnected, basically a counter is nothing but a set of flip-flops. So these flip-flops which are interconnected in such a way that their combined state output at any time is the binary equivalent of the total number of pulses which are occurred up to the time. So generally we simply say a counter which is used to count pulses. Just what we say. A counter used to count the pulses. Okay. And let us see the applications of where we generally use the counters. Applications of counters. So we are regularly watching the daily gadgets. The most first example for application of counter is nothing but counters are also used to perform the timing function in digital watches. So these are mainly used in digital watches. And counters are also used to create time delays. So if you want to maintain or if you want to provide any time delay, we are using counters. And also another application is to generate a series of pulse trains. There also we are using counters. So what does it mean, pulse trains? So this is generally at the introduction of flip-flops we are discussing nothing but this is a clock pulse. Okay, so to generate a series of pulse trains, generally we are using counters. Okay, so these are some of the applications of counters. Okay, and next we will see counters are maybe existed in two types. One is asynchronous counters and second one is synchronous counters. Okay, so counters are maybe classified into two types. One is asynchronous counters and another one is synchronous counters. Okay, and now we will discuss one by one. What does it mean? First one is asynchronous counters. So just now we discussed that counter is nothing but a set of flip-flops which are connected in such a way. Okay, so here in generally an asynchronous counter uses T flip-flops or JK flip-flops in toggle mode, or sometimes D flip-flops also are used to perform counting operations. Okay, so let's do an example and the circuit diagram for asynchronous counter, how they looks like. See, now I'm considering T flip-flops, 4-bit T flip-flops, because counters are nothing but a set of flip-flops and whose states changes in response to the inputs. So this is 4-bit asynchronous counter, and when it is called asynchronous counter, in this type of asynchronous counter the flip-flops are connected in such a way that, so the output here you will see there are 4, I am considering this is 4-bit flip-flop, so 4 flip-flops I consider. The output of first flip-flop which drives the clock for the second flip-flop, like that way. So we know that, so for each and every flip-flop, so for T flip-flop it is having one input and two outputs. So here according to the definition of asynchronous counter, the output of first flip-flop, so this is the first flip-flop which drives the clock for the second flip-flop. So here which drives the clock for the second flip-flop. Okay, and the output of second flip-flop which drives the clock for the third flip-flop. So this is the which drives the clock for the third flip-flop. So this is T3 and Q3 and Q3 bar. And the output of third flip-flop which drives the clock for the fourth flip-flop. So T4, and this is Q4 bar, and here are the output. For the first one, so where I am applying one clock pulse. Okay, this is the input. Okay, and if you want to connect asynchronous input pin, that is clear, and this is the common asynchronous input. This is clear response, and this is input. Okay, so here the connection is existed like that. In this type of counters, in this type, what is the mean here? In asynchronous counters, in this type of counters, the flip-flops are connected in such a way that the output of the first flip-flop drives the second flip-flop, and the output of second flip-flop drives the third flip-flop, and the output of third flip-flop drives the fourth flip-flop, and so on up to the n flip-flops. Okay, so here the most important point is that all flip-flops are not clocked simultaneously. All flip-flops are not clocked simultaneously. So this is the most important point in a synchronous counter. Okay, but because see, so here the clock pulses are there. How they address? So the outputs of the first flip-flops are connected to second one, third one, fourth one, like that way. So we are applying clock pulse at the first flip-flop only. And remaining flip-flops clock pulses we are applying, we collected from the outputs of the previous flip-flops. So that's why all flip-flops are not clocked simultaneously. Because of this, the design and implementation of this asynchronous counter is very simple, even for more number of states. So here the design and implementation is very simple, because the connection is very simple. Okay, no need to worry here. Okay, and the main drawback of this counters also, asynchronous counters also, is having low speed. Why? Because the clock is propagated through a number of flip-flops. Okay, so the main drawback, if you see, the main drawback, very slow. What is the reason? The reason is that, so here the clock is propagated, see in this connection, the clock is propagated through a number of flip-flops before it reaches the last flip-flop. That is the drawback of this one. Okay. Yeah, one more point I forgot here. The asynchronous counters are also called as ripple counters. So asynchronous counters are also called as ripple counters. Okay. Why they call ripple counters? Because in asynchronous counter, the first stage causes which drives the clock input for the second flip-flop, and similarly the second flip-flop causes to drive the third flip-flop, and so on up to n flip-flops which are connected in such a connection. In doing so, here there are so many intermediate stages when you're talking about the last flip-flop. So here the signal like carry, like just like a one ripple is carry forward here for each and every stage. So that's why these asynchronous counters are also called as ripple counters. Okay, and let us see the another one. What is the another one? Another one is nothing but synchronous counters. Okay, so another one is synchronous counter. So in this type of counters also we are using T flip-flops and JK flip-flops under the toggle mode. Toggle mode means both the inputs are maintained at logic 1, or D flip-flops also generally used to perform the counting operation in synchronous counters. Let us take an example here in this case also. So here also I consider a 4-bit flip-flop, 4-bit synchronous counters, and I'm considering here again the same T flip-flop. So here the 4 flip-flops or T flip-flops are there. So each flip-flop is consisting one input and 2 outputs. So this is Q1, so T2, Q2, Q2 bar, T3, Q3, Q3 bar, T4, Q4, Q4 bar. So in this type of counters, there is no connection between the output of first flip-flop and the clock input for the next flip-flop and so on. So in these counters, the flip-flops are connected in such a way that these counters are triggered at the same time. That means here the connection is like this way. We are applying one common clock pulse for all flip-flops, so that we trigger the clock pulse at the same time. So which is established by connecting the clock line to each stage of the counter like this way. So here the clock are trigger all flip-flops simultaneously at the same time. Because of this reason, the design and implementation of the synchronous counter circuits becomes complex and difficult, tedious, if the number of states are increases. So that is one of the drawback for the synchronous counters. See, whereas in a synchronous counter, the second flip-flop, if you want to drive the second flip-flop, you need to connect the first flip-flop output to the second flip-flop. But whereas in synchronous counter, you need not to connect like this way. Okay, you're supposed to apply a clock pulse to all flip-flops at a time simultaneously. So it is a great advantage for the synchronous counters. Okay, and while coming to the application, these synchronous counters are faster. These synchronous counters are faster than asynchronous counter. Okay, and the propagation delay is also very less. Okay, and the synchronous counters are faster, and the propagation delay is also very less in synchronous counters. Okay, so that's all about synchronous counters. Okay, so counters are simply classified into two types, and synchronous counters and asynchronous counters. So apart from this, so counters are also classified into two types according to the operation. Okay, so here the counters maybe in according to their operation, they are existing in up counter and down counter. What does it mean by up counter and a down counter? Okay, an up counter is a counter which counts in upward direction, and that is up counter. Example, which counts like 0, 1, 2, 3. Every time the count value is increases. Okay, and that's the type of up counter. And a down counter is also a counter in which counts in downward direction. Example, so just like as an up counter, but it begins from the last stage, like n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and so on up to 0. Okay, So their counters are classified into the two types according to that operation, up counter and down counter. An up counter is a counter which counts in upward direction. A down counter is a counter which counts in the downward direction. Okay, and there are some more definitions are there which are very very important for the nested file designing part. We will discuss here. Okay, what is the next definition is the state. What is the definition for state counter? State. Okay. In the counting process, each of the counts of the counter is simply called as the state of the counter. Each of the state. Sorry. Each of the counts of the counter is called as state. See, that means in up counter it has n states: 0 state, 1 state, second state, third state, and so on, n states. So each of the count is simply called as state. Okay, and one more definition: modulus. Modulus. Okay. What do you mean by modulus? The number of states through which the counter passes before returning to the starting state is called as modulus of the counter. So the number of states through which the counter passes before returning to the starting state. Returning to the starting state is called as modulus of the counter. For example, so here to understand these definitions, I would like to give one example here. What is the example here? Let us consider a 2-bit counter. A 2-bit counter has how many states? 2 power n states. That means a 2-bit counter. So 2 square, that is 4 states. 4 states. And that's why it is called as modulo 4 counter. Because here the number of states are there. How many states? 4 states. So see the definition. What is the definition for state? Each of the counts of the counter is called as state. That means here how many? So here we first in the 2-bit counter, and the total number of states are 2 square. So it produces 4 states. Okay, that means each of the count is called as state. And how many total number of states are there? 4 states are there. Okay, so the total number of states through which the counter passes. So here the number of states are 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, after completion of third state, again it returns to 0. Again it counts from 0, 1, 2, 3. After completion of n, again it again returns to 0. So like this way. So here the total number of states are nothing but the modulo. Okay, and each count is nothing but state. 0 state, 1 state, second state, third state. Okay, so that's why this state is called modulo 4 counter. To implement this for 2-bit counter, it requires 2 flip-flops. Okay, and one more point is that in the process of implementation of 2-bit counter, this circuit divides the input clock signal frequency by 4. That's why this 2-bit counter is also called as divide by 4 counter. Okay, so let us take one more example. So if any counter either in synchronous or asynchronous, if you want to design a 3-bit counter, it is possessing total how many states? 8 states. 8 states are there. So that's why it is called as mod 8 counter, modulo 8 counter or mod 8 counter. Okay. So to implement this 3-bit counter, we require 3 flip-flops. To implement this 3-bit counter, we require 3 flip-flops. And this counter is also called as divide by 8 counter. Why? Because their input frequency, which is divisible, which is divided by 8. That's why the input clock signal frequency is simply divided into 8 parts. That's why it is called as divided by 8 parts. In general, for an n bit, n bit counter will have n flip-flops and 2 to the power of n states, and divides the input frequency by 2 to the power of n times. Hence, it is also called as a divide by 2 to the power of n counter. A divide by 2 to the power of n counter. Okay. And a counter which goes through all the possible states before restarting, and it is called as full modulus counter. And a counter in which the maximum number of states can be changed is also called as a variable modulus counter. And the final state of the counter is in a sequence is called as a terminal counter. Okay, so that's a introduction part of this counter. Okay, so a counter is a sequential circuit and which is used for count the pulses. Okay, and that is the basic definition for count. Thank you.